Hi, this is Ebony Thompson, Tourism and Marketing Director for the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce. Welcome into the Community Connection TV show.
Welcome back, folks, to another great episode of the Community Connection TV show. And we appreciate you for tuning in tonight. And we have a very special treat for you. Special guest, one of the most unique individuals that I've met in a long time. But it's local author and national author, Jim EPIK. And Jim is a very unique individual. Let me give you a little bit of insight on his background. And by the way, thank you for being with us tonight, Jim. Appreciate
Well, thank you for having me, Mark. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and dropping in the studio. To give you a little bit of bio information on Jim, he has written a couple of books that we want to talk about tonight. One of the books is a public safety type direction on the books, but it's Phantom Controller and 12th and D. These are two books that we want to talk about. Very interesting subject matter. Jim is a former FAA special agent. He has been continuity of operations manager for the Security and Exchange Commission, and he's been a senior investigator advisor for the Federal Communications Commission, U.S. Army commander of the 110th Military Police Company, and a Kansas police officer. So you've got quite a unique background there to bring you where you're at today.
I have had quite a few different jobs over the years.
Exactly. And so in 1993, Special Agent Jim EPIK tracked down the Roanoke Phantom Controller for intentionally issuing harmful air traffic commands to passenger aircraft. To date, this is the only successful prosecution in history, and it was the first time this type of crime was ever brought to court. So that puts you in a very unique position, you know, with your past and what you've been exposed to and what you helped bring to justice. I want to ask you a few questions because we've got so much to talk about. We've just got to dig right into it and jump in head first. But Jim, can you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, your background, why you're here today to talk to our viewers?
I'm a local product of Jacksonville State University. I went through the criminal justice program, graduated in 1983 with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, was commissioned through the ROTC program. I served with the United States military police in the Army, 110th Military Police Commander in Europe, where I did the removal of chemical weapons from Europe. After that, I became a special agent with the Federal Aviation Administration, where I ran into this situation, which a lot of people aren't aware of, the issuing of false air traffic control commands on FAA tower frequencies. That's what the basis of the first book is about. And that was one of my first civilianized federal jobs that I had.
Wow. Very, very intriguing. Let me ask you this. How does someone, or just to go back one, how common are these kind of crimes against air traffic?
The last time I saw statistics, there was 150 cases a year of false air traffic or interference to air traffic control communications each year.
Wow.
And I can only assume in the time that I've been retired that it's actually gotten worse.
Right.
As electronics become more and more prevalent, these type of problems continue to rise.
Wow. How does someone tap into flight instructions from air control? I mean, aren't the frequencies secured, or?
It's one, and that's why I'm talking to people, is to try to get them involved with getting this problem corrected. I spent the past 20 years of my life trying to get our government to secure those air traffic control communications. Not with all type. The general aviation pilot, I don't think there's any need to secure the communication, but the problem lies with passenger aircraft and those communications being secure, which they are not. Anyone can get on the air traffic control frequencies.
Wow.
Go down to your local electronics store. About $100 you can buy a radio capable of communicating on those frequencies and start issuing air traffic control commands. And that's exactly what the man that I arrested, he was an unemployed janitor, but enjoyed radio, bought one of the radios, tuned to that frequency, and started issuing air traffic control commands to the point where he stopped air traffic at one point at the Roanoke Airport in Roanoke, Virginia, where this incident actually occurred. Almost caused the crash of one pilot and was just fouling all the operations. I'll give you another example of it. All the passenger aircraft that you see stuck out on a runway on a regular basis.
Right.
A lot of that can be attributed to these phantom controllers getting on those frequencies and fouling the overall continuity of the operations that are going on in an airport.
Wow. And you hear these stories, passengers, stuck on the tarmac 3 hours, 4 hours, getting irate, they won't let them off. You wonder what's going on with that sometimes.
Yeah, I pretty much guarantee you a lot of times that's what it is.
Wow.
It's just people, and the government basically has done nothing to try and stop these. Their attitude is, we can't stop them. And as long as the government continues to have that type of attitude, we'll never stop them.
Right. It has to be a will.
And my case and a subsequent case that I worked showed them that, they can be caught, they can be stopped.
Right.
But the easiest thing is just to secure those frequencies so that it stops happening.
Right.
And they won't even do something that simple.
And it doesn't. I'm a novice. I'm an outsider looking in, but it wouldn't appear to me that it'd be that difficult to secure them.
Not with today's technology.
Yeah.
It's a simple, just plug in a chip and the communications are secure. Again, just between the passenger aircraft and the tower.
Right.
Everything else, if you want to let it wide open, leave it wide open. It's just those aircraft that have passengers on it.
Right.
Although I think, here recently with the Birmingham incident and the San Francisco incident,
Right.
we see there's, a lot of things can go wrong.
Exactly.
In those airports, and I'm not really sure they're looking at the cause or correcting the root cause.
Exactly. And let me ask you this, Jim. Why hasn't the American public known about this ongoing threat? When you and I talked, I was just shocked, that this was going on. I'd never heard of it. And I stay plugged in pretty well on things,
When we first arrested this gentleman in 1993, it made national news. So what I'm talking about isn't a secret. It was carried by the national news networks. There has been briefings at the White House level for the president as to the difficulty these type of problems create for everyone. But for whatever reason, they just don't go back in there and correct the root problem, securing the communications. And if I can ask your viewers to do one thing, please contact your congressman. It's really easy. Go up on the internet, just put in Mike Rogers for here in the local area of Calhoun County, Senator Sessions, Senator Shelby, and write them and ask them, why are passenger aircraft communications not secure? Let them come back and tell you what the problem is.
Right.
I think that's the best way, and that's really why I started speaking out.
Right.
After 20 years of not getting any correction, I think they owe us that much.
Right. And when, if you're not satisfied on the federal level, it really starts with the states. The states can get involved. The states can they have a voice.
Yes.
The states have a voice. And there's a lot that's accomplished through the states.
Yeah.
I think that's a great place to focus on. And please, do that. Encourage everybody to do that. Let me ask you this, Jim. How has the problem been resolved since you investigated or prosecuted this serious problem?
It hasn't. That is the problem. Still to this day, 20 years later, I spent 15 years in Washington, D.C. working to get this problem corrected. It hasn't been corrected. There has been nothing done in 20 years to change the situation as we know it right now.
Wow. Amazing.
Terrible.
Amazing. How many other airplane crashes have happened since this one arrest?
Oh, the number of crashes, near collisions on airports, I can't even begin to tell you. You know, again, how long ago with the Birmingham incident, which you know, somebody needs to look into that and see, was the instrument landing system. You have to look at the totality of the situation. Both San Francisco and Birmingham, tail strike style crashes where they came in too early and too low. Now, why did we have 2 aircraft crash, I think, within a month's time with that same style? More than likely somebody got in, hacked the instrument landing system, and created a problem. And the deaths that way.
Very sobering thought. Let me ask you this. Do you think the recent UPS plane that crashed in Birmingham was because of a phantom controller? You kind of answered that, but we're elaborating
I
a little
don't think
bit.
that was a phantom controlling incident. I think it was what they call the instrument landing system.
Right.
A lot of people aren't aware. Most aircraft are landed on autopilot. It's just easier on the aircraft. It does a better job landing. Well, if somebody goes in and hacks that system, computer hacking of the system onto the instrument landing system, then the plane may think it's actually higher up than it really is. And if you look at both Birmingham and San Francisco, those planes hit in the tail section on a berm right outside of the airport itself. So it's telling me something is going on that way, and I'm not really sure the FAA is always looking at or correcting the core root problem that is causing them. Or they're not going about securing the systems well enough that somebody can't hack into them.
And to be honest with you, when you've got a 9-year-old boy that can hop a plane through security, we've got a problem.
We've got a lot of problems with the security in our airports. You know, and you can go all the way around it. You know, even with the problems that TSA recently had with a lot of their supervisors, their actions being questioned. Why they were doing things, why they were pulling certain people aside, how they're handling people. It just isn't a smart operation all the way around. And here in Calhoun County, we should really have more of a focus on that, in that Congressman Mike Rogers sits on the Homeland Security Committee for transportation. I would think that he would be very interested in getting to the bottom of why these type of incidents are occurring.
Good point. Good point. Well, folks, it's already time for our break. So we've got an Elite Business Spotlight, and so stay tuned. Jim, we appreciate you for being on the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back with you. So don't go anywhere. Don't run away. Folks, stay connected. We'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in, and tell a friend about our Facebook version as well. Stay connected.
Hello, I'm Dr. Dale Burgess, chiropractic physician. Are you suffering from severe lower back and leg pain, neck pain, your arms and legs tingling? Have you been told that you got to live with it, that there's nothing else to do but surgery? Give us a call. We use the unique Burgess method. Call us today to find out if you qualify for our unique method of care. The only thing you may have to lose will be your suffering and pain. If you haven't tried the Burgess method, you haven't tried everything.
Welcome in to Creations Salon, located at 600 Quintard Avenue, Anniston, Alabama. Great services for men and women. Haircuts, highlights, hair extensions, special occasion hair and makeup. Be sure to visit Creation Salon for your nail spa and your pedicure needs. Also, tanning services. So be sure to visit Creations Salon.
Opportunity is knocking. We're ERA King Real Estate. To buy or sell real estate today, you need solutions that will pay. Opportunity is knocking at your door. It's what you're looking for. Opportunity is knocking.
proud to introduce to you Radioactive, located in Pelham since 1985. Radioactive strives to build their reputation on honesty and integrity by offering high-quality products and knowledgeable service. They offer a comprehensive range of products and professional installation for your home theater and automotive needs. Radioactive stands behind their work and has the reputation to back it up. Give them a call for all of your home theater, vinyl wrap, and car stereo needs. Call 205-663-1859.
Welcome back, folks. We appreciate you for staying connected, and hope you enjoyed that special break and the information from our special sponsors. And we thank all of our sponsors for making it possible for us to bring you public service information, free charity ads to help them out, and also interesting guests like our special guest tonight, Jim EPIK. It's been a pleasure getting to know Jim. Jim has a very, very unique background, and if you're just now tuning in, shame on you, because you should have been watching. But actually, you can go to our social media version of our show, and there'll probably be a little bit of an extended version, but you can check that out on Facebook. Just type in local TV show, those two words right there at the bottom of your screen. Go to Facebook, type that in, or tell a friend who may not be on the local cable system that you're watching us on. Type that in. You can catch our show in its entirety. You can see what you missed. You can save it for later. You can email it to a friend. So lots of great information. But we have, like I mentioned, our special guest author, Jim EPIK, and he has written a couple of books that we want to focus on, but the main one we want to focus on is Phantom Controller, and that's this book right here. We're going to give you some more information about it, how you can get that book at the end of the show. But basically, what we're going to talk about, Jim, is we're kind of going into the information you provide us about this situation. One thing we want to kind of remind everybody about again is in 1993. Special Agent Jim EPIK tracked down the Roanoke Phantom Controller for intentionally issuing harmful air traffic commands to passenger aircraft. To date, this is the only successful prosecution in history, and it was the first time this type of crime was ever brought to court. So this is something that's really been hidden by the media, not focused on, not brought out in the light, although it was made public, but there was no real long-lasting focus on it. And so we want to ask you this, because I've never even heard of this crime, and I know I'm not alone. There's multiple citizens that just didn't even know this was possible.
Mm-hmm.
In the age of terrorism we live in today, we're so distracted by the obvious things, that are out there in front of us on the media. We forget these other threats, especially if they're not covered.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't know about them, we don't even,
They fall between the cracks. There's no doubt about that.
Exactly. So let me ask you this: finishing out our question segment on the situation and on the Phantom Controller problem. What do you suggest are solutions to stop Phantom Controllers from interfering with the air traffic control from the tower to the passenger planes? What is some solutions to be able to stop that?
I think the easiest way to go about doing it is to secure the communications. Not all communications, just those with passenger aircraft. If the FAA, the Department of Transportation, is told by enough people that we want these communications secure, they'll eventually do it. As I said before, contact your congressman, contact your senator. Mm-hmm. Ask them why these communications aren't secure. 20 years after the first person was arrested for doing this, they've done nothing in 20 years to make this happen. And I think the media needs to put pressure, just like you're doing yourself, Mark. The media needs to get out front of it, put pressure on the airlines to secure these communications. They have a responsibility to every person that flies and everyone on the ground that may be hit by an aircraft coming out of the sky to secure this stuff. And they just haven't moved on it because there isn't that push to secure those communications.
Right. That was my next question. Why isn't anything being done? It's basically the lack of information, the lack of understanding from the public, and the lack of that push.
Absolutely. The airline industry and our government knows that these type of incidents are going on to the tune of 150 of them minimum a year in this country. 150 times every other day someone gets on the air traffic control frequencies and creates problems for the airline industry. The airline industry knows that there is a problem. They're the ones that are the brunt of the bad media, and I think the media needs to push this also and not let it fall off of the radar screen, if you will.
Exactly. We need to keep it on the radar screen. If you got loved ones that travel, if you travel, hey, it's something to think about, because you want to feel safe. And even though all the threats that have been going on, we want to feel safe when we're flying. Well, it's already time to end this segment, so we're going to come back for one more segment, talk about the book, talk about what you've been up to recently, Jim. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Folks, stay connected. We'll be right back with our special feature, and then we'll be right back with Jim.
Planning an event? Be sure to call Top Notch Events and Rentals. They have all that you need for all of your wedding and special rental needs. Inflatable bounce houses, slides and vending, lighting and draperies. Don't forget about their fantastic line of formal wear. That's Top Notch Events and Rentals, located in Anniston, Alabama, 239-4950. Welcome in to Creations Salon, located at 600 Quintard Avenue, Anniston, Alabama. Great services for men and women. Haircuts, highlights, hair extensions, special occasion hair and makeup. Be sure to visit Creations Salon for your nail spa and your pedicure needs. Also, tanning services. So be sure to visit Creations Salon. Be sure to go out to Jacksonville Auto Sales and see the great selection of vehicles that they have there for you. We're talking about sports cars, family cars, and trucks of many varieties. Be sure to get out there and see them at Pelham Road South, Jacksonville, just across from the Jacksonville Walmart. If you're listening to us from the Lincoln, Heflin, or Gadsden areas, be sure to make the drive because it is worth it. Go see Marty Boyles at Jacksonville Auto Sales, 256-365-1616.
This is my 1931 Model A Ford slant windshield. Yeah, I graduated from Oxford High School and I love driving a car around town and get a lot of waves and honks and thumbs up. Take the car parade, sometimes a Veterans Day parade or Memorial Day parade, and just have a lot of fun. In 2010, we retraced the Pony Express and I drove the car 4,300 miles from Alabama to Casper, Wyoming with another 210 cars along with us. Been doing this for about 6 years now and have enjoyed every minute of it. A great hobby, and you meet so many nice people and get to see the USA at 40 mile an hour, 45 mile an hour. This is a great hobby. This has a 40 horsepower engine, 3-speed manual transmission.
Opportunity is knocking. We're ERA
Welcome back, folks. We thank you for staying connected. We hope you enjoyed that special feature that we just had for you. And we are here with our special guest, author Jim EPIK. He has a very big public safety message for us, and if you've missed the preceding information, catch us on the Facebook version, because this is too much information to go over. Again, we want you to get it all. It's very important. But Jim has a very unique background, and he's written a book basically called The Phantom Controller, and is dealing with a terrorism threat on a level that's just unfathomable to most people. I mean, we just don't know these kind of things are going on. Especially what's disturbing is that nothing's being done about it, you know, and it could be. So we want to make sure we let them know about your book and what you've been up to. But let me ask you this, Jim. What have you, we're going to put his information down at the bottom of the screen to be in contact with him and how to get the book and all that. But let us know, what have you been up to as far as what have you been doing lately?
I've created a website trying to bring attention to these problems that I'm writing about. Also, I created a petition on a website called change.org. Anybody can go up on the site. You add your name to it, and ultimately I will take those names to Washington and ask Congress to make the changes to secure air traffic control communications. That's my ultimate goal with all of this work that I'm doing right now.
Excellent.
And again, they can. All you have to do is go in, type change.org, Jim EPIK, and the petitions that I have will come up.
Okay, great. We're going to put your contact information up right now, Jim, so they can know how to get in touch with you if they need you. Jim is available, I'm sure, for public speaking, events, things like that. Very, very informative. I mean, we're only scratching the surface, if you can even call it that right now. So it's just a lot of the wealth of knowledge that Jim has for on a national level and local level for any community. And so basically, you know, we want to also just kind of close out with letting them know about the book again. It's Phantom Controller. It's very, very needed information in the times that we're living in. You know, we're in perilous times, folks. And the longer time goes by, it seems like it just gets more perilous. So.
And if I can say, Mark,
yes.
This book that I wrote, Phantom Controller, is based on an incident that I did as a federal agent, an investigation against an individual that issued false air traffic control commands to passenger aircraft that were followed by the captains of those aircraft and put people's lives in jeopardy. The story is based on the actual event. It's been fictionalized because I didn't want to give certain pieces of information away.
Right.
But it could happen and does happen every other day on average in this country.
Wow.
In other countries it happens more often.
Get a copy of the book, Phantom Controller, and see what Jim is all about, see what he's done with this. We're going to have Jim on again and talk about the other book, 12th and D, The Revenge of Al-Qaeda. So that's going to be an interesting interview. So, Jim, thanks for being on our show. Thanks for your passion for the public safety. We thank you for staying connected, and we want to be sure that you, get the information on how you can get this book. Go to Amazon.com and type in, Jim EPIK. We've got hit the spelling there as far as how you spell it is EPIK, Jim EPIK, Phantom Controller. Get your copy today. Get your copy of 12th and D, The Revenge of Al-Qaeda. Check it out and share it with a friend. Buy a copy for the holidays. Share it with the family, But Jim, we thank you for your heart. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your information and for the mission, that you're basically on. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Mark, and thank you for giving me this forum to speak out.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Anytime, you let me know. And come back and be with us. We definitely want you to talk about your other book.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. And thank you, folks. And stay connected. Share the episode with a friend. And if your friends or family are not on Cable One or your local cable network, be sure that they know that they can catch us on social media on Facebook or LinkedIn for the professional networks. Folks, you take care. Stay connected. See you next week.